Hello folks, welcome back to GingerLion's Agrarian Skies modded Minecraft Let's Play, or playthrough as the case may be. In the last couple episodes I've been doing a couple of tricky things, and I've been running into a couple of problems, and I wanted to show you the base of my problems. Let's start with this one down here. Every time I've logged back in, and I've done it a couple of times for testing, I've found that my AE system goes offline with a complaint about controller conflict. It seems to think that the two controllers are on the same network at the same time. And I find that if I come out here and remove this chunk of cable, everything works fine. If I put it back, everything stops working. So I've tried a couple of things. Let me show you what I've changed. First, I came in here, I took this drive, and if you'll note, it is now partitioned. Here's the partition editor right here. What I did is I partitioned it so that this will only store these various X-Nilo items, the X-Nilo hammer, wood planks, that sort of thing, so that instead of having to manually force an export, instead I just put a storage bus here, and anything that comes in that's not on that list automatically gets sent through to my Prime AU system. Then I've got, the usual export buses set up here with dust, with sand, with cobblestone, and with gravel. That way, when those things are above the line, and I also set up a forced export bus for each of the dusts, so that those get crafted here and sent over to my other system. And it was still having a problem, so the change I tried this time, and you'll probably see either by the end of this episode or next episode whether or not it worked, was replacing the fluid cells ME fluid interface that was sitting here with a tank. Sort of using this tank as a buffer. It's sending this extra export is putting witch water in here. This one up here is pulling witch water out. That allows these two systems to exchange witch water with each other without there being this in between, because I think this may very well have been the last thing that was causing problems. So we'll see. I'll figure that out next time. I really don't like coming on and immediately finding my entire storage system shut down. The other problem is, maybe you noticed I added a bunch of machines here. Well, that caused my reactor to not be producing enough power to keep up with demand. So I expanded the reactor up by one more level, and now this isn't doing the job. So I want to show you what it is that I think will do the job in preparation for the fact that this keeps flickering on and off. You see that? The way it flickers, bright, dark, bright, dark. I don't like that. That indicates that there's a problem somewhere in this system. So if you'll note, I now have a reactor that's producing 6,000 redstone flux a tick. Hopefully that'll be enough for a little while. But the control system isn't up to snuff. So let me show you what I did a little bit of research. And I found that this device, the programmable RedNet controller. Now, I'm not going to try to teach you how to use the entire programmable RedNet controller. That seems overboard to me. But I am going to make one. And I already have some RedNet cable over there. And then I would like a RedNet port for my reactor. That does mean that I'm going to need to shut my reactor down once, and while I'm at it, I'm going to do this. So, this always seems scary, but it works just fine. I've done it a bunch of times on various test reactors. First, I'm going to get rid of this RedNet cable, because I don't need it here right now. And then, I'm going to remove that block and put this in its place, and I'm going to remove this block and put this RedNet port in its place. So now, I have to probably go turn the reactor back on. Yep, it shut itself off. Which is fine. It's got plenty of power in it. I think I'll do my reactor surgery in the meanwhile. So, here's what I want to do. I'm going to put a programmable RedNet controller here and a RedNet cable there. I'm going to set this reactor to output its energy amount here on white, and input control rod insertion. And I freely admit that I stole this from Purple Mentat in his Agrarian Skies playthrough. This is a wonderful way of controlling this reactor. So, what we do is we come in here and just a moment, let me verify something. Okay, folks, so I think I've got this configured correctly. And here's what it's set for. I'm going to pull in from the right-hand side the white signal. I'm going to output to the right-hand side the magenta signal. And the constant between the two of them is 0. What that means is the higher the signal coming out on the white, which is how much power is in the system, it has to balance out the signal on the right-hand side in magenta. So what that means is this. Let's turn this reactor on. What that means is the control rods up at the top should be controlled entirely by how much energy is in the system. If I go upstairs right now, take a look at the control rods, they're at 59%. Why are they at 59%? Because we have 59% power. Now it should be up near 62%. 65. What that means is this reactor will dampen how much power it is producing and how much control rod is actively in there based on how much power it's in. The closer it gets to 100% full, energy-wise, the closer it will get to not running. When this reaches 99%, the control rods will be 99% in, and the reactor will only be running about 1%. That's because these two signals are balancing each other. The control rod insertion is tied to the power amount. So what's going to happen, and it'll be relatively soon here, this will stabilize at some point, and it will exactly match the amount of power going out to keep this charged with the amount of power that it's producing. 79.7, 79.8, we're up to 80%, and if we go upstairs, again, these are at 80%. That means that they're dampening the reactor and cutting down the amount of power that it produces until at some point this will exactly match the amount of power that all of my systems are using, and that's where the reactor will sit. And if I draw more power, this will begin to drop, and the control rods will pull out some, and it'll produce more power, and it'll match up. So, there we are. Now I have a stable process here, and I think I've resolved my problem down below. So now it's time for me to build myself the room that I had originally imagined. This flickering on and off really bothers me. I have to say, that really bothers me a lot. These are doing it as well. And it usually only does that when we're having power problems there. But we're not. As you can see, it's only getting these export buses. I may have to solve this problem. But normally these, you notice these shut off completely. That should only happen when that controller runs out of power. But it's not. I know it's not. So, regardless, I'm going to just take a little while. I did teach my system how to make the green colored bricks that I had originally started this whole needing more power because of. It's a relatively easy recipe. Just a moment. The recipe for these is to use the paintbrush on any of the standard bricks with green or cactus green in the middle. And that's what I taught my system. I, in fact, taught it how to make all of the colored bricks that I can currently make with the dyes that I have available in my system. The only one that I'm really cautious about is the brown, because I only have so much cocoa beans. I'm not actually growing them. I'm only sifting them out, so I'm cautious with that. And if you'll notice, I've now run completely out of coal. That's this system back here that's producing fuel for these devices has run out. And I'm kind of okay with that, because that gives me back some sulfur. Remember, I had misconfigured an output device and made too much GingerLion. It's fuel for my system, and that's wonderful. And it may very well be necessary, but I really don't like the fact for a period of time there I could not make Enderium. So, anyway, I've now got these green bricks in my inventory, and I'm going to get to work preparing myself a little bit of a Thaumcraft room, and I'll be back once I've got that configured so that we can actually start our work on researching toward Thaumcraft, which, frankly, I am doing because I want to go to the Nether soon, and I want to be safe. Well, as you can see, folks, I got a little bit of this built, but I'm still having problems with my AE system. So, I figured I'd bring you along while I went and saw if I could figure out what was going on at least a little bit. What the other controller, my main system controller, keeps doing is it keeps flickering between energy use, and it keeps giving me an energy low condition. And this one doesn't seem to be having any problems whatsoever. I don't have any flickering, I don't have anything. But, just to troubleshoot, I'm going to remove that one piece of cable. Now let's go back upstairs. We're still flickering. Okay. It has absolutely nothing to do with that configuration down there. Interesting. Let me reconnect it. Now, my assembler should not be drawing. Let's go see what the power draw-in situation is. Just a moment. Come check this out with me. These are still flickering. And this over here, energy use is high, but not absurd. And then every occasionally, I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but every couple of seconds, it flickers to some indication that it doesn't have enough power. And what is the number? It's a negative something. Negative 2,000 MJ. And I don't actually believe that. But I'm going to try something that I've never actually tried before, so we'll see together if it works. Now, one of the things that Applied Energistics has in it that I have never used is this energy cell. And this energy cell, theoretically, is used to store energy on the AE system. So, energy cell. Let's go build a couple. I would like these energy cells, please. I want 10 of them. Just because if it's worth doing, it's probably worth overdoing. Let's clear this out. Try that again. Clear. Thank you. Means I need 40 of these. So I'll just make a... Wow. I only made one, and that's probably because the system was flickering out at that moment. There. It succeeded in making a stack. And let's make some energy cells. Let's... Oops. I didn't really mean to make that many, but let's see how well it works. So I would like to put these right here. Do they store power all by themselves? They don't seem to, but once they're applied to the ME system, they start to glow pink. Now the ME system believes that it is storing a lot more power online. A lot more power. I'm very happy with that. And clearly, because they're connected to the ME system, they can be stored anywhere and still provide power. So I don't need them in my cluttered little basement down here. Instead, I have 12 more of them. Let's grab some cables. So it looks like my ME system, for whatever reason, was drawing monstrous amounts of power for extraordinarily short periods of time. I have no clue why. I don't know what it is on my system. I'd like to figure it out at some point, but right now it's not a huge priority for me. What is a pretty big priority for me is making sure my ME network stays online all the time. So where could I put this that it would be out of the way and still firmly connected to my ME network? Well, I believe... Well, there's an ME cable. I'm pretty sure, yes, I know that right behind this wall is an ME connection to my network. So, I am going to stick that out to here, repair this little hole in the wall I just made, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to go steal the 4 that I had put down in the basement and bring them over here. By the time I get up here, those others should have stored enough power that it'll be fine to take these off the network. What is the ME network now? Ah, there we are. That's starting to look more like... And, hey, look, these continue to store their power despite having been disconnected. That's nice. Not a waste of power. So, let's go connect them. By the way, the reason this was a problem, my assembler wasn't assembling. It seemed to be running out of power, I guess, in its attempt to run. There. Now we have a small wall of energy cells. I didn't intend to make 16, but I really do not feel bad about the fact that my ME network now has a little bit of a power backup. Let's go see what it was storing. If I recall correctly, before it was storing 2,000 MJ. It is now storing... Instead of 2,000, which would have been 2K, it's now storing 64,000... Sorry. 640,000 more power, which is because of these energy cells. So, whenever it is that this flickers down, and you'll notice it does flicker down by 2K, I have no idea what it is that yanks that many Minecraft joules out, but that's fine. Now I know that it's got 640 times as much power as it had before, and I don't really have to worry about it. So, now, my next question is, did it build my bricks? It did. There's the bricks that I was asking for at the point that it began shutting down on me. So, not having that problem anymore. Good. Let me just take a moment and look at my fluid situation, because I did just tweak. I removed my water output and my witch water output, and they've both definitely begun to climb. I'm going to need to find a place to solve that, but not today. So, I'm going to go back to building this, and this is going to become my Thaumcraft area, because I've decided that I want to be able to use the area right outside my front door. So yeah, I'm just doing a relatively simple process of using my builder's wand, like so, to build out this platform. Looks like we might get it all the way done with the bricks that I have. Good. I'm going to need a little bit of obsidian to build my railing over here. And I do have enough torches. So, let me finish building this area out, making it look pretty, getting everything neatened up, putting railings on, that sort of thing. And I'll be right back. By the way, remember how I was running out of obsidian? Looks like I've solved that particular problem. I didn't look, but I'm also keeping plenty of lava in the process. So, I no longer have an obsidian problem. In fact, I may have a too much obsidian problem. We'll see. Anyway, be right back. So here we are, folks. We have ourselves a little bit of a platform that I'm probably going to use for more than just Thaumcraft, but for the moment, when I step out my front door, what I get is this nice, pretty green brick area with railings around any of the places that I can easily fall. The moment I haven't separated out from this roof, because I'm probably not going to separate it out from this roof, I'm probably going to include this roof in the neighborhood, as it were. Eventually, I'm probably going to make this platform the entire area here. But nonetheless, here we have an area that I'm going to start my Thaumcraft work in, and just to make it a little easier to access, I added an elevator over here. This is the elevator. By the way, remember I told you that I spent a little while and climbed down here and climbed down further? Well, I attached it all to my elevator network. It's dark here. I'm going to add enough light so that I don't feel so, I don't know, like it's so dark. There. Anyway, I put a platform here. This is where my basement is and my squid pond. I put a platform here. This is at level 46. Put a platform here at level 36. There's the ladder I used to do all this. Put a platform here. Again, 26. Here's level 17. Here's the level 7, which is the furthest down I was able to make it, and the reason that I did that was this little node right here. These are Thaumcraft aura nodes. Remember I received a collection of like 16 of these that I can place down myself? That's going to make my life a lot easier, but I also want to be able to get to aura nodes that are down here, and let's see, I'm not sure if I can see them in the gloom, because we are down near bedrock, and despite the fact that there is no bedrock, it still produces this gloom. Let me go up a level. Oop. And if I look around, so there's that one down there, and if I had brought my thermometer, I'd be able to see these much more clearly. But I know that I've seen at least 3 or 4 others sort of off in the distance in various directions using the thermometer. I think there's one in there. You guys probably can't see it. But anyway, these platforms will allow me to build it down from my base if I have the desire to. They will allow me to come down and get to natural aura nodes if and when I need to, and they just in general make travel up and down much easier. I sort of had to put the elevators there, and I figured platforms to make the elevators a little safer seemed like a really good idea to me. They're also well lit up. So there's at the moment, my travel network, and I intend to connect all floors that I build. In fact, yes, I did go ahead and put a platform up here and one up at the level of the top of my mob spawner. That's partially because I intend to remove my mob spawner soon. I think it's just about lived out its usefulness. I now have the technology to make grinders, and that I can make a spawning floor that's much more, I don't know, appropriate, useful, etc. So, anyway, here is my new Thaumcraft area. I'm going to move some stuff up here and set some stuff up, and I'll be right back as soon as I've done so. Hello, folks. So, in the process of setting up my Thaumcraft area, I decided that I needed some of the appropriate Thaumcraft crystal shards. So, I set this little production line up. This is working with sandstone slabs. This one over here is going to be working with obsidian. The one after it's working with TNT, except that I'm out of TNT and gunpowder. This one's working with ice, aqueous accumulator, and a glacial precipitator handled that. This one here is handling netherrack, which gets produced every time I drop some redstone into this barrel setup. And this last one over here, well, it's not working with anything. And the reason is because that's got to work with grass. And that's what I think I'm going to set this area up as. This is up above my production building. I set up a little bit of, dirt, and I intend to set it up. But first I realized that makes a lot of noise. And I was pretty sure that I had some muffle blocks left over from when I was using TNT for generators. So, I'm going to do a couple of things. First I'm going to put one here, which hopefully will muffle some of the sound of the fire. I'm going to put one here, which will muffle that set of sounds. That pleases me. That's a lot better. There's still more noise than I'd like, though, so why don't we go ahead and double the effect. Ah, silence. And I need some grass seeds. I probably only need 3 of them. I really only need 1, but no reason to be skimpy at this point. And I'm going to set up some grass seeds on these areas and let them spread. Now, the real reason I set that up, other than needing grass for my pulverizing for my crystals, is this. I have greatwood saplings and silverwood saplings that were gifted to me in that absolutely wonderful bag. So I'm going to take them and plant them. So, for those of you who haven't worked with silverwood and greatwood before, you need to know a couple of things. The first thing is greatwood grow in a 2x2 pattern, so like this. So what that means is when you place them down, you have to make sure that all of the blocks around them are empty. In other words, they can't have anything in any of these boxes around because that might keep it from growing. I'm going to plant one here, and I'm going to plant one there. And there's enough room in between. So why don't I plant one right here? And then I'm going to do the same thing down at this end, except that I'm going to do it, let's see, in the middle here, in the middle here, and in the middle of that. There. Now these don't respond to bone meal, neither of them, and both of them, well, they're kind of precious to me, which means that I'm going to be ultra careful when I take them down. I think Ex-Nihilo crooks will be the answer. Now, I moved all of the items that are explicitly, except that fence gate, don't know how that got there, all the things that are explicitly Thaumcraft, including all the wands that I have or have made, both of my Thaumium boss ones that I've received, all of the aura nodes that I've got. I moved all of that stuff up here. And I'm in the process of running myself up a terminal, because quite frankly, running in and out of here every time that I want something, it's just a little frustrating. So, let's see. I generally like to have them be the crafting terminals? That's what I'm looking at right now, right? Yeah, crafting terminal. So, to make a crafting terminal requires an access terminal, which I'm pretty sure I don't have spare conversion matrices, so let's go ahead and make that. I'm pretty sure I don't have a storage cell, so I should now be able to make the access terminal. Yep. And how about this? No, I still need a crafting grid. I'm going to be lazy and just do it this way. And there. Now I have a crafting terminal, and I've got some cable. So, let's go ahead and place it. I would like it to be right there, head level, nice and easy. And I intentionally carved this channel out to run the cable in. I go finish it. Just a matter of connecting it across to there. Now it should be connected to my network. Now I easily have access to anything that I need out here. So, now I have my research table set up. And I have all of my items moved over. It's time to start my research. And for those of you who haven't done it, this tells you everything that you need to know about research. If you click on this research, it tells you about it. And the first thing that you need to do, other than that research table that we have over there, is make ourselves a workbench, which involves some scribing tools and, let's see, 2 tables next to each other, set of scribing tools. That's what I just built. That's over there. Yes. And because of this version of, because this mod pack has been set up to what's called easy Research, all you have to do is basically click on anything, and if you have the aspects you need, you can just go ahead and purchase it. So, what aspects? You know what? I happen to know that this research down here, which is known as research mastery, which will make it much easier for me to move forward. I'll show you why. So first I'm going to get research expertise, which was nice. I can see what aspects need to be combined to create an aspect. That was the reason I got it. And here is research mastery. This would be a great advantage to anyone not working at easy, but here I'm able to combine research aspects by clicking on the aspect I wish to create. That's greatly useful because if you see over here, I am missing Aurum. I need 5 Aurum to be able to learn advanced node tapping, which I really want. So what I do is I come in here, I found Aurum, and I control click on it. It says control. No, I guess it only works if it's empty. So I need air and Bricantio. Let's just go over here and make sure. There, I now have 5 Aurum. I click on this, and advanced node tapping. This is a more efficient way of tapping into nodes, resulting in double the draw rate. That's not exactly what I needed, but what I did need is master node tapping and node preserver. So I need 13 more Aurum. So I have enough of most of these things. There we go. Now, node preserver allows me to not draw the last drop of essence out of a node, thus destroying the node, unless I sneak click on it or unless I'm using a wooden iron capped wand. And since I have those wonderful wands, I won't be doing that. And master node tapping, I'm now able to draw the viz 3 times faster than normal, which is very nice. And finally here, it will allow me to move nodes. For me, this is an almost necessary thing. So, 8 more Aurum. There we are. There's 8 Aurum and node in a jar. Basically what you have to do is lay down a layer of slabs, a layer of glass around the node, a layer of glass above the node, and a layer of slabs. This also means that when you place nodes in the world, if you wish to be able to move them, you need to be able to create a layer below, a layer all the way around, a layer and 2 layers above it to be able to move the node. That means when I lay out nodes, which I'm going to do probably right over here, I'm going to lay out an area for recharging my wands. Oh, hey, look. My first silverwood tree grew. That's nice. But anyway, I'm going to lay out the nodes, and I'm very carefully going to space them in such a way that they don't get within 2 blocks of each other. That way, if I ever need to move them, I can. So, now, let me do a little bit more work in my Thaumcraft book, my Thaumonomicon, now that you have some idea how this works, and I'll be back once I have the first project I'm going to work on. Okay, folks, so the first thing that I'm going to do now is I'm going to make myself an arcane work table. It's simply a matter of right-clicking on a table, which is added by Thaumcraft and is set up like this. Add that and right-click on it with a wand. Now, the wand that I used is this one. It costs 110% of the V's when I choose to use this wand to make things. So, I'm not going to make anything with it. Given that I have these 2 wands, both of which are full, both of which gave me 90% Viz cost, I'm not going to use this iron-capped wand any time that I don't have to. I'm also going to check and see if there are any quests while I'm at it. Let's start with, it claims that one quest with unclaimed rewards. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. It's in your wizard, Steve. Oh, these have changed around. I have updated the mod pack, by the way, to 2.1.1. As you can see, there are a whole collection of quests that I didn't have before. So now apparently I had to make a table and make a thermometer and didn't realize that that gives me a reward. So let's see what I get. Is that a real heart? It is. And let's see what's in the quest reward bag. A writing pick. That is a writable, can be repaired with paper. I have no interest in that pick, but what the heck, it exists, right? Might as well toss it in a chest and stop worrying about it. Like this chest. Thank you. Now, let's also check and see what the next quest is. It would make a focus pouch and 2 iron caps for a quest reward bag. Sure. Now, let's see what research I would need to learn how to make wand pouches. That's probably going to be in thaumaturgy. I need my first wand focus, bought, and my focus pouch, bought. Okay, now I theoretically know how to make focus pouches, which is leather and a gold. And at the moment, and I thought this was going to be a problem, and it is a problem, I have no leather at all. And the only recipe for making leather, well, in the alchemic chemistry set in Blood Mage, let's see, if I melted down some fish, or if I get imp leather, and is there any way to make imp leather? No. So, the sad truth of this is, folks, before I get in almost any further, I'm going to have to bite the bullet and kill me some cows. Well, I apologize to my girlfriend right now. So, I'm going to set myself up a little bit of a cow pen. My, this makes me sad. I'm going to set myself up a little bit of a cow pen and a couple pieces of machinery, and I'll be right back. Okay, folks, so I've been told this works. I have no proof of it, but I know that there are spots up in this tree where there are, pretty nasty monster spawning possible locations, so let's find out. Theoretically, yep, this axe will chop down an entire greatwood tree simply by picking a location down here at the base and swinging your axe at it. So, that's good to know. Now, hopefully it'll drop a couple of greatwood saplings, and that'll justify all of the greatwood harvest. Meanwhile, I'm going to go climb up in the silverleaf tree and tear it down from the top using some of these crooks, because I only got 1 sapling so far while I started on that project, and I want a lot more than that. So I'll be back once I've finished. Okay, folks, so I wanted a little bit of confirmation for myself that using these crooks from Ex Nihilo actually worked. And what I've got is this. One, I just plain chopped down the 2 greatwood trees that grew and got 4 saplings out of it. That's about 2 apiece, which is, well, not horrible for greatwood trees. It's certainly not a great return. However, silverwood trees tend to drop 1 apiece. I took down 2 using bone crooks and got 6 saplings out of it. So I'm going to provisionally call that a confirmation and say that if you want silverleaf saplings out of your existing silverwoods, you should probably go ahead and tear down the leaves using one of these bone crooks. So in fact, I'm going to toss a couple of those in here. And while I'm at it, I'm going to grab this thermometer, and I'm going to come over here I'm amazed I didn't do this in the process, but silverwood logs, yep. Silverwood leaves, yep. Have I already scanned saplings? I have. Shimmer leaves? Yes. Okay, good. Oh, hey, look. And a greatwood log. And are there any greatwood leaves close enough for me to... There we are, greatwood leaves. Nice. Okay, so that gets all of those things appropriately scanned. I have scanned all these things. Good, good, good. Now, there's one other thing that I'd like to do. I do have... I think I have some shears in a chest before I make a new one. Let me go check. Nope, no shears. Okay. So I'll make a new pair. That should be a lot faster than that. Grasping shears is an awfully easy thing to do. But while I'm waiting, I'm going to go scan these ethereal essences, because I know that I didn't get a chance to do that, and they have Ordo on them. And that has identified all of them. Did I? I don't think I scanned one of these bone crooks. I didn't. Ah, very nice. Put those away. Have I scanned a silkworm? Yep. So the silkworms are also another confirmation for me that this did indeed work. If the crook had not been doing anything, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have been producing silkworms. It wouldn't have been considering them appropriate leaf blocks from which to create such a thing. So now I have those set up and growing. I'm going to go back to this sad quest to kill me some animals for some leather. Okay, folks, I'm not proud of it, and I guarantee my partner is going to be sad, but here's what I did. I made myself a couple of pens here. I built a breeder right here, which is built like so. I know it took a golden carrot and a golden apple. The recipes for those are like so, and the purple dye I had to make out of a little bit of rose red, and I've been really carefully hoarding that because I got some in that chest over there. Moved some cows over using my lassos. Then, I can't actually go in there to show you, but right over there is a rancher. And what it's doing is it's milking the cows. I could get to it from out there, but it's milking the cows because milk is necessary on one of the Go with the Flow quests. There's a need for, what is that, 16,000 buckets of milk, so that'll start that process. Then there's a chronotyper in the middle. Again, purple dye. It was necessary. What it does is it separates the babies from the adults. And then, of course, over here is a grinder. Like so. Invar swords, tin gears, books, nothing particularly hard. And what it's doing is as soon as the babies grow up, it goes ahead and, hey, I put the wrong bus here. I managed to put a fluid cells import bus and I don't have the right one on me, so let me go correct that. But basically, as soon as the baby grows up, it identifies it as an adult. Once it's an adult, it slaughters it, kills it, collects its mob drops, and let's see, I'm going to go with a precision import bus today. Yeah, this is bumming me out a little. But anyway, sometimes you have to do what you have to do. It doesn't make me happy, but that's life. I get some eggs. I've got quite a lot of eggs at this point. Oop, that was not what I wanted. There we go. Okay. Now, come on guys, out of the way, out of the way. You don't want anywhere near any of this stuff. So yeah, so there are two devices that could be used here. There's also the slaughterhouse. I'm going to have to set one of these up at some point. The difference is this. The grinder kills them as if you killed them. So it drops leather, it drops, anything else that this animal might drop if you killed it with a sword. The grinder, the slaughterhouse, kills it and makes meat juice and meat chunks out of it, which, unfortunately, see this fluid protein? There's a need for 160 buckets of that. It'll give me some spawn pig and a reward bag and a water hive, and there are some things that I'm going to have to do to finish some quests in this that just do not please me. But, nonetheless, sometimes you do what you have to do. I'm going to come over here and find, and I now have 2 leather, and over time that number will increase, and so I need to get a whole bunch of this stuff into a different system, but I need a reasonable amount of leather, so I'm going to wait until I have enough to make the next thing that I want to make, and then I'll be right back. So, I wanted to let you know, it is taking a while for this growth to occur. Doesn't surprise me, they actually have to age up. It's a reasonable chunk of actual time. So I'm going to do a couple of things in between. First, I noticed that the milk, I've already got almost 1,000 buckets of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to the Strong Bones quest, select that task, and bind this QDS over here to it. Whack. And then I can set this export bus. Oop, no destabilized redstone. Oop, I didn't get a bucket of milk. Can't run this without a bucket of milk. And I'm going to tell this, give me a bucket of milk. Good. I'm hardly going to be able to use milk. I'm hardly going to be using milk because I've been making soy milk. And I've been using that instead, but this will, that drum is now filling, and it's outputting down here, and let's just check the quest, and there's definitely milk flowing in. So, I need, by my calculations there, 16,000 buckets, and I had close to 1,000, so I'm not going to get a huge amount of that quest done, but that's fine. So, there's actually one more quest that I need to put a little bit of work in, and I'm going to make an item. I'm going to put it in off camera. I want the sewer. No. Where am I at? I need more bricks. I need a machine frame. Okay, that's easy. Hey, I can make them with aluminum now. Nice. I'm going to make a stack of them for the next time I need them. And I need more bricks, so I have enough clay to make that a pretty trivial request. Let's go downstairs. No, actually, I still have one furnace over here that's not going to be a problem. Now, I made a 5x5, and a normal sewer will only cover a 1x1. So, 3x3, 5x5. I need an upgrade of 2. What's that upgrade? I need 2 of these, whatever they are. Iron. 1, 2, sewer. That makes 4 of them. That's more than enough. And I want a tesseract. Now, I'm already using a tesseract for transmitting in sludge, so I think I'm going to get another tesseract. These do not require power, and there's going to be quite a lot of sewage produced hereby. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to whack this onto the side of this. I guess this side of the top is going to be my best bet. This is going to be set to 2, and I'm going to name 2 sewage. Check. Add configuration. You are going to ignore items, receive fluids, ignore power. Okay, so now, actually I could just do this on camera. It's not going to be that hard a thing. I am going to need one more tesseract because I'm setting up 2 sewers. And I only brought 1. But I have some unattuned tesseracts right now, or currently unconfigured tesseract. I'm going to jump over here, grab that egg that seems to be a little glitching. Everybody away. Come on, guys. Out of the way. Oh, it looks like there was a dead chicken somehow. That's sad. Oh, now I see why. There's a kitty cat over here. You know what? I just lost another chicken. Out here. I'm gonna grab those lassos. There we go. I don't want my chickens dying, but I really, if I've got a cat, I'd really sort of prefer to keep it rather than just let it go. Come on. Pick up that ocelot. It won't? Why won't it pick up that ocelot? Well then, what am I going to do about that? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to thicken this fence so that the kitty cats, plural? Yes, plural. So that the kitty cats can't get over to bother the various mobs that they can apparently see through the fence. So this is an interesting situation. I, didn't realize that I was over here in a biome where this could happen. Got me some feathers, which I guess on a certain level I did need. Any light problems up there? Nope. Come on. You, out of there. Out of there. This cat really, really doesn't like being stuck in here. But I've yet to figure out what to do. I'm probably going to have to make an MFR net. But actually, let me go do that right now. I'll be right back once I've got this resolved. Okay, so those turn out to be moderately easy to make. It's 4 ender pearls around a gas tier, and I've got plenty of those. So let's see. I can, in fact, pick up those 2 ocelots. Good. Now I have, theoretically, a breeding pair of ocelots, should I need them. Now, this is going to be just a little bit, I don't know, just a little bit crazy, perhaps, is a good term for it. Because I've got to go over these fences. Now, the dead center of this, I need to dig down twice. Looks like that's going to be easy enough. I'm going to put down a tesseract. Of course, it's going to be a pain. Put down a tesseract. Set it to sewage. Check. Block energy mode. Send fluids. Block items. Put the dirt back here. Put my sewer down. And load it with a range upgrade iron. Now, it's very important that you do not put too large a range upgrade in these. Normally, it's only this size. So this would be 1 and this would be a 2. If I went too far and put a range upgrade that allowed it to interact with another sewer, neither sewer would operate for, I think it's like 5 minutes or something absurd like that. I don't know the exact number, but it is not a small number. So if you find yourself needing to set these sewers up, make sure you do so right so that they do not interact with each other wrong. I want this on sewage also. Blocked, send, blocked. Sewer, that is on sewage. And range upgrade. So there's that. No, I can't jump from there over the edge of the fence, so break that there. All should be well on the eastern front, as it were. I can tear. No, I'm going to leave this wall right here. I don't really want to see this. This is a thing that makes me sad. It works. It operates. It's even functional and efficient and well designed. It's just not, you know, something to be proud of. I really do not mind, at the moment, the dead chicken that I have in my inventory. Ooh, let me block this out. I do have some good obsidian. Good. There's definitely a strong necessity for making holes, as I need to, you know, send things out. That's how I got up over here to build this. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you this. Make sure it's working. Yep, it's producing milk. I sort of knew it was because we're exporting milk. But, so there you go. There's the sewers done. How's this quest going? 9% already. And let's take a look at what... I have 23 buckets of sewage already. So you know what? I have another quest delivery system. I do not. So what does it take to make one? There's a QDS. I have a drum that's full of witch water. And I don't really care to have that. So I wonder if I can empty a drum. I need a fluid export bus. This will be fun. I'll get several quests running at the same time. That pleases me. I don't need a bucket of that around. Done with these. No fluid imports required. Come on. Okay, so now I have the QDS. I have the... Do I have the drum? I need the drum. I need a fluid duct. Only one. I need a servo. Only one. I need my crescent hammer. I got the QDS itself. Everything looks good here. And let's get buckets. Are there any buckets that I need to dump in? These are all good to have, just sitting around. In fact, good enough that I'm going to drop this here and make a new bucket. So, I'm going to take this bucket, fill it with sewage. And I'm going to go get a second quest going. So let's take this quest book and come back to Smelly Stuff, select task, put down a second QDS, bind it to Smelly Stuff, and set it up. I didn't think that through. I'm going to have to set it up like this. And that means I'm going to need another cable. Hate it when I don't think things through carefully. Okay. Now, I want that fluid export bus on top of here. I want a cable to connect it to there. Good. Now, servo goes here. Crescent hammer goes whack. That all looks like it's good. This is already bound. Yep, just like I wanted it. And there's this fluid export bus. It's not keeping up with the export rate, so let's move it up one. Now it is. Good. So, we have a sewage quest and a milk quest, both progressing. And now let me go check on our leather situation. We're up to 15, and that is enough to do what I need to. I'm going to toss these two kitty cats in here. Keep them safe. Okay, so, what did I need leather for? Well, the first thing that I really want, so that I can find nodes much easier, well, let me look in the Thaumcraft. The first thing that I need is a focus pouch. So leather like that, gold like that, and 10 Ordo, 10 Terra, 10 Perdito. This is for a quest, I remember. Let's clear this out so I don't accidentally make those. And a stack of gold. There's no reason not to do this right. So this. And, by the way, no, you can use this as a vanilla crafting table if you need to. No reason not to. So now, note, it's asking for 10 of each of those essences. The easiest way for me to give it to it, and actually I'm going to use, I can use this iron-capped wand, because I might as well empty it out. You'll notice that it became 11 because this is 110%. This gives me a focus pouch that's part of the step toward quest completion in the You're a Wizard Steve quest line. And I needed 2 iron caps. If I'm correct, those can just be made here. They can indeed. Turn one more iron into the nuggets. Clear that out. And make a second iron cap. Good. And I'm probably going to have to do something with that. Nope. Manual submit. Claim reward. Valid heart. Yep. I've learned to check that out. 30 remaining. And a greater reward bag. Potion flask. 8 swigs left. Flight. Almost 20 minutes. What a wonderful reward. That will allow me to get a little bit of flying done. If the next time that I need to do that. Now, where was I? Well, let's take a look at the quest line and see if there's anything else. Arcane crafting. I already made an arcane work table. I've got it right there. The deconstruction table, it'll give me them back. Why don't I check? What's the deconstruction table going to cost me in terms of stuff I have? Good. How is this made? Golden axe, a golden pickaxe, a thermometer, 20 Perdito. You know what? I'm just going to do it. Table, thermometer, golden axe, golden pickaxe. Okay, so sticks. I wanted them here. Thermometer. No, I only have one. I'm going to need to make, for what I'm about to do, I need one. I want to keep one, and then I'm going to need 2 more after that. So I'm going to need 3 of these. That wasn't what I wanted. So my automated shard production is going very well, and I'm going to use water shards for this because I have a bunch. 1, 2, 3. You know what? I bet I've never scanned a thermometer with a thermometer. I haven't. Good thing to scan. How about this arcane work table? Good thing to scan too. Every time you make something, like for example, I came over here and I made all of this fancy neat new stuff. Even if I'm not proud of it, nonetheless, gotta scan the grinder. Gotta scan the breeder. Best scan. I haven't scanned a cow, of all things. Wow. Gotta scan the sewer. Guess I'm gonna have to get in here. Come on. I would really like to be able to scan that, but I can't. So, I have to do it from the other side. You, out of the way. Yeah, somehow, get out of the way. And the chronotyper. Done. Always worth scanning just about... Oh, hey, rancher. Always worth scanning just about everything that you make, regardless of how you make it or what mod it came from, because just a little bit of work can make it so that you can get that new thing that you wanted to be able to make. Easy enough. There. Scanned those. That's nice. So I have scanned, like, chickens and pigs. Yes, okay, good. Scanned all these things, yes. Good, good, good. Now let's get out of here. I haven't screened green-colored bricks. Out of the way. There we are. Okay, now, what was I doing? Oh, yes. I was about to make myself a... What was that recipe? It was a deconstruction table. Bing. Doesn't tell me what the recipe is here, but it will here. Axe, table, golden pickaxe, thermometer. So I need another table. Nope. Table. From here, there's my table. Done and done. And in here, we need table, axe, pickaxe, thermometer. No, let me guess, I got them backwards. Insufficient V. I need Perdito, and I need 22 of it with this wand. Well, then this wand isn't going to do the job for this process. I'm going to grab this Thaumium Boss Silverwood wand, and I'll only need 18. So there's my deconstruction table. Now, deconstruction tables are very interesting. I know I'm about to turn this in, but I want to tell you anyway. If you use a deconstruction table on something, for example, if I use a deconstruction table on dirt, at some point I will get myself some of that, I think that's Terra, as research that I can add to my knowledge base, this collection up here. It doesn't do it easily, and it may destroy a lot of them before you finally get your first one, but if you're real hard up, it's a real good way to turn some basic materials into some basic research. So now, I need to... Do I have my axe? I do. Need to pick this up. And go to this quest book, manually submit, claim reward. That gives me back my arcane work table, so I can put it down again. And my deconstruction table, which I'm going to put down around the corner right here, and scan it with a thermometer. Whole bunch more research points. Like I said, always worth doing. Full heart, valid, good. And a greater quest reward bag. A spiked axe, jagged, stone-bound, made of cactus. That's not a bad thing to have. I mean, I'm happier with my current lumber axe, but okay. Like it says, an okay but not great reward. I'm good with that. Now, there is another thing that I really want to make, and I learned the research for it. And it was the thing that I started this whole today's quest chain looking to get. So, I might as well get it. And at that point, I think we're probably going to wrap up the episode. So, it's in Artifice. It's over here. And it's called the Goggles of Revealing. The recipe is like this. 4 leather, 2 gold, 2 thermometers. I always say that like it's like thermometer. But, like, anyway. I'm not taking your temperature. I'm looking at the magic in the neighborhood. So, this needs a very small amount of V. I'm betting I can get it all off of this iron-capped wand. Might as well use such things up when I have the opportunity. So now, these are called the Goggles of Revealing, and they are a piece of armor. You put them on, you get a little bit of armor bonus, you also get a 5% decrease on anything V's related that you're doing, and any aura nodes that exist, you will see them as a relatively bright point. I'm sort of just looking around right now to see if I can find any off the edge of... Oh, no. Off the edge of my world, because it'd be nice to find some up here. But you can see one right there. You see that? There's an aura node in this tree. I wonder if, with a thermometer, which I only have one left, and it's in this chest over here. Yep. Wonder if with a thermometer I can scan that, or if it's only going to catch the silverwood tree. Nope, it got the node, and I got research points for it. Now, it's a very weak little pure node, but that's fine. Let me look through this silverwood tree. Usually, silverwood trees will produce a node. They won't always. Sometimes, if there's already a node nearby, they won't at all. But, yep, it looks like we only got one out of that. So, let me look around. This is, by the way, much, much easier to do at night. In the dark, these show up much more clearly. You'll notice I can see them through this platform much easier than I could if I was just staring at the sky. And I thought I saw a spark over here just a minute ago. Why is there... What a weird thing. Pick that up. The nice thing is that I don't have to, like, hold my thermometer out in front of me and just sort of wave it around in an attempt to just spot nodes. Instead, all the time, wherever I'm looking, if there's a node to be visible, and looking through this tells me if there's not a lot nearby, at least in these directions, but if there were, I would be able to see it. That's always scary. Let me come out here, look around, see some smudges on my monitor. Well, let's go down into the basement, as it were, and go to the aura node that I know I have sort of trapped. It's It's a natural aura node as opposed to one created by a silverwood tree. And we can look at it and scan it together. So let's go. Here we are, level 46, 36, 26. And you'll note there's a node over there. There's a node down there. There's a node over there. There's one over there. There's a whole bunch down here. There's one over there. A whole bunch down here, down at the edge of the void. This is probably the easiest level to see them at, but I have to go down further, down here, to be able to build out to them. And that's fine. So, when we come and find a natural node, and I'm going to be real careful because I'm right at the edge of the void, you'll notice I got 5 research points for Ignis and 5 for Herba. And if I took a wand, which I didn't bring one, I could point it at this node and suck those resources off it. So, there we are. There's a basic, useful tool for Thaumcraft, the Goggles of Revealing, and our first couple of nodes scanned. This is how you continue to get research points if you're out of otherwise scannable things, is to scan nodes. And it isn't easy, but it's definitely doable. So, I hope you enjoyed the episode, folks, and I will see you soon. Bye.